take care of you.
We're live. So, we have a special guest today.
We do.
And welcome, man.
Thank you
as
very
my
much,
co-host.
Stefan. Thank you.
We have Dr. Waseem Kotoub. Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, perfectly.
Superb. So, with all our guests, we have a elevator pitch. So you're starting at the bottom of our building. You're taking the elevator with the two crazies. And you have 15 seconds to introduce yourself. Starting.
And I take the time now.
I'm Waseem Kotoub. I am British with Lebanese Syrian descent. I'm a medical doctor, concert pianist, music therapist, and I've done an MA in health systems and hospital management, and I love travel.
Wow.
Nice.
That was amazing.
That's literally your whole life. Just in, he's had practice.
Yeah.
I am.
You're blown away, aren't you?
I'm like, what, a doctor and a pianist?
How do you fit everything in?
I always feel I have 3 lives. I've studied medicine and music, so I feel sometimes I'm crazy as a musician and a very analytical thinker as a doctor. So I feel I have 2 lives. But I also did a lot of work, charity work, working with disabled children, using music therapy to help them in their lives. So that's another life I have.
Wow.
So it's a mix, yeah.
And that's the amazing thing with some of our guests is that because a lot of people just use one side or the other when it comes to thinking and their creative side or their analytical side. But we've had quite a few guests that literally use their whole brain, and you're there.
Actually, my friends, I have a common name they call me with. They call me the juggler.
Yeah.
And this really sum up all my life.
So, when did you? How old were you when you realized, or your parents realized that we have a talent here?
Yeah, I mean, I was as 8 of 6 when my parents forced me to take music lessons.
Oh, forced.
You didn't want to do it?
Yes.
No.
Because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how the piano looks like or the violin looks like. Till I went to the, they do this placement testing, or they test your abilities and all of that. And I did it all right. I got all the clapping exercises right. Everything was done perfectly. And then I saw the piano for the first time with all the keys and black and white keys and all of that. So I got excited. And that was the moment when I fall in love.
But why did they want you to study music?
My father used to sing in university in a band. My mother used to play piano when she was in the school before, but she stopped later. And they both stopped in a specific time in their life, so they wanted to continue that through me. Yeah, exactly. When I studied at in school, the society was looking into medicine as the top profession in the society. So everybody wants their sons or daughters
to go into medicine. Absolutely, yeah.
So I did that too, and I was I specialized in kidney transplantation. So I was doing a lot of surgeries as an assistant surgeon.
It's like
you can literally have a kidney transplant while listening to some beautiful
music.
Yeah.
Well, you are
with one hand and maybe operating on the other hand.
Yeah, one hand full of blood.
Yeah,
and the other one, sonata on piano.
What an experience.
I know.
You are
really
so
crazy.
Cool.
The thing is that this operation used to take like 4 to 6 hours a day, and I used to be an assistant surgeon, and we used to have 2 operations a day. So that means 12 hours in the operation room. That killed my life, to be honest. So I came into a point that I have to decide, and I made that decision where I shifted from more like practical medicine into more like theoretical medicine. So I've done an MA in health systems and hospital management.
So was that after?
That was, yes, after.
So how old were you when you were operating?
I'm now 39 years old.
This looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm now 39. I'm turning 40 hopefully by end. Hopefully. by end of this year.
I know when,
Yeah,
actually.
yes.
Oh yes, we know.
Yeah,
now.
we
had that
know.
conversation.
Yeah, we know
that's
when
right.
your birthday is.
So I've done that in MA back in 2010 in Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine. And since then, I got that management profile, if you could say, skills. I got the art also background, so that made me go to work with the British Council as an arts project manager.
Yeah, how did that come about? Was
Yeah,
it just
Yeah.
advertised, or did they find you, or
It was a mix, actually. I used to direct, I still actually direct a piano competition,
Okay.
international piano competition. And the British Council actually was one of the partners at that time. And we knew each other. And then that post came up. And I was thinking, hey, why not? Let's try that field. Let's work for a UK organization and, give back to countries around the world and all of that. And now it's been 10 years since
Wow.
9 years working with them. And recently I took the role of senior program manager for culture and sports program for the whole Gulf and the UK.
It's
Nice.
so impressive.
Before we go into that, so how did the music carry on? Okay, so you went into surgery. So how far did you get with the
Music never stopped. I always have concerts. I had 3 concerts last year in the Fringe Festival in Edinburgh. I composed too, so my compositions were performed in the UK.
Sorry.
And what kind of music are we talking about?
It's mostly programming music. So I worked with disabled musicians who are like high quality, to be honest, musicians in the UK, graduated from Royal College of Music and all that. And what we did is I heard their stories behind their disabilities and all of that. And then I composed the music based on the stories they told me.
Nice.
And there was also one deaf and blind visual artist. They did immigrate from other parts of the MENA region to the UK, and they faced a lot of challenges. And so the whole story was translated into a musical, description, if you could
Beautiful.
say. And this was performed in the Arab British Centre in London, in Fabrica Centre in Brighton, in Edinburgh, in Newbury, Arlington Centre. So it's been touring, and now it's available. Part of this music is actually available on YouTube for people to get a sense of that, of this music.
Oh, we have to share the links for that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the British Council. What is the purpose of the British Council? What is their mandate? Or
Yeah, I think many people don't
because,
know.
No, I don't. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a good question. British Council is the UK official cultural relations and educational organization. Our aim is actually to create opportunities for young people and to build this mutual understanding between UK and the countries where we actually exist. We exist in 110 offices around the world, and our work is around culture, around English, around society and art. This is the area where we work in.
So, okay, giving opportunities for youngsters in all these countries. Is that
Exactly.
at the same time as teaching them about English culture, British culture?
So we do lots of English teaching,
Yeah.
which people know British Council as a teaching center. We do lots of exams. So we do the IELTS exams. We do also other exams on behalf of UK universities like Oxford exams or
really?
Cambridge exams.
Okay.
But on top of that, we have our programs department, which I head. And under that programs department, we have sport programs. So, for example, we delivered during the last 3 years a youth leadership training for teachers in schools. who are they actually now cascading that to their students on promoting UK sport values such as fair play, such as inclusion and all of that. And that's been for, as I said, for 3 years, and we got now around 100 teachers trained, cascading to others. We got around 260 teachers trained on inclusive physical education, how you could include disabled kids in the PE class, in the physical education class. In culture, we've been, of course, we did the famous, successful Qatar UK Year of Culture back in 2013. And as a legacy, we have now Qatar British Festival happening every year from November till December. And that's a platform for art. So we bring over UK artists to work with Qatari artists to produce something. So this year, for example, we have a photography exhibition talking about diaspora, UK people living in the Gulf and Gulf people living in the UK, and the experience is through photography. Lots of workshops around this for young photographers. There will be a digital competition, online competition, photography competition. Last year we brought the first 3D sonic installation to MENA region, which is mimicking actually a football match.
Wow.
So we had also a bridge, a Guinness record bridge built by community, and the whole bridge is actually built from Lego bricks. And we had a lot of STEM workshops around it, and it's part of our agenda around the public art portfolio. We want to support that, and we see it's important for Qatar. After all this construction happening, I think it's now the time to make it look playful and beautiful and engage society with it. So that's really in brief. On top of that, also we have the higher education program, and we have the UK alumni community. So any UK graduates based in Qatar could benefit from the network. And we recently announced the Qatar UK National Alumni Award. People, UK alumni are applying for it, and in November, December time, we will announce the winners. And fortunately, Qatar has won the MENA UK Alumni Award and Global Alumni Award.
That is impressive.
So Qatar is doing really very well.
Yeah, superb. And
wow.
Yeah, it
like,
is a wow. That's a
but
lot.
I am so curious.
The letter in my name, that's the first letter in my name. It's Waseem.
But I am so curious. Will you do anything now leading up here to athletics, the Athletics World Cup? No, not World Cup. World Championship.
Yeah. Will you be?
Yeah. So with athletics, I mean, we do a lot of work around women and sport. So at Qatar National Library, I think 3 months ago in March, not 3 months ago, in March, during the Women's International Day, we actually hosted a panel discussion. We brought female and male athletes and champions from sport field. They were talking about their experience in that. And we got a British Olympian, and she is part of the British team during 2012 Olympic Games. So that was our involvement with the Olympic Games and Athletic Games. With the championship this time, I know there is a UK team coming, but we are not involved in that. There have been some discussions to organize something, but it seems that it proves to be a bit difficult at this stage.
And are you, in this role, are you fulfilling every part of your brain? The talented guy that you are from the surgery. Do you miss that?
Yeah,
looking back?
I learned a lot because I had that pressure on me all the time. That made me prioritize things in a better way. So that was the skill I learned from this. Some pianists, for example, they had to practice like 6-7 hours a day to do something. For me, I didn't have the time to do that. So I started to create my own ways of practicing, prioritizing things. So I have a mission to do. This is my target. I just hit my target.
Yeah.
So, and I had the same skill cascaded to other stuff I do everywhere. Even when I eat something, I look to my plate. What is the most delicious part in that plate? Well, let's start with that then.
That's no
You know,
way. Do you do that?
I prioritize everything.
Wow.
because-
So you take the best part first.
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Most people save
Leave it to the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you.
Well,
eat it
I'm
first.
like you. I just like I
Yeah,
take the
because
best.
you don't know.
You
I
never
might
know.
have something, an
Yeah.
appointment that might come up, so I need to be sure I got my
I
dose.
love that.
I'm curious about the British Council. Is there any other councils from other countries that kind of do the same sort of thing?
No, the British Council is a bit unique in its structure and the way it's. We are not government, so we are not part of the British Embassy, but we work with the British Embassy
Okay.
as a partner.
Yeah.
So that's quite unique compared to other cultural centers, or like the French Cultural Center or the Spanish Cultural Center. That's different. So yeah, of course there are other cultural centers, but and of course the European Union Committee in Qatar, they do some stuff, and we support sometimes according to capacity also. Yeah, so that's my answer.
Okay. And with your music, it's great to hear that you're composing and stuff like that. What else are you involved with on the music side?
Yeah, so of course, studying medicine and music made me think of music therapy, which is something I've introduced back in 2006.
And how did you get into that?
How did it?
Yeah, so it was part of my studies. It was an optional thing I could take on. Then I actually dived into it more and more. I work with autistic children. I had like 32 autistic children from different. The spectrum is wide, so I have from different abilities. I did deliver in Qatar, in Will Cornell at Qatar Foundation. I delivered a training, 1-day training for medical staff and nurses. In Sidra, the same. I had like a 1-hour talk about it. So at the moment, I'm trying to raise awareness about. I'm sure there are a lot of people knows about it, but they don't know exactly what it is.
But can you tell
Yeah,
us
but
more?
Yeah, can you
Exactly.
go
I-
into absolutely?
yeah, I would
and I
love
don't
to.
think a lot of people know.
No,
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know?
I mean-
Well, I heard a podcast about.
Okay.
I think people heard about it,
Yeah.
and they think it is music therapy is listening to music and that's it. And I think that's a wrong idea. Music therapy is using music as a mean to change behavior, or for educational purposes, or for the relaxation type of purposes, like by listening to music. But we use music instruments and music to change something. So, for example, I'll just give a quick example. With autism, one of the main objectives for the trainer working with autistic child is to make the eye contact, for example, with the autistic child, which is really difficult to do at some stages, or for the autistic child to differentiate between colors like red or green or blue. How we will do that with music therapy? So what we do is we link colors to sounds, and that will help when the child listen, let's say, this tone or this tune. The child will link directly that tune to the color that he or she saw before. So we are enhancing his or her memory through music. That's the objective. So I'm not really playing a music just to have fun. There is something linked to it. There is a target linked to it. There is also the medical part for example, with speech and language therapy, or pathologists. They actually use music for people who stutter, and there is a medical reason why when you ask somebody who stuttered to sing, he
yeah,
sings
that's words.
perfectly.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
there is
King's
a bet-
Speech.
Exactly.
Remember?
No, and also
he was singing.
there was a guy in the UK on the X Factor that won it.
Yeah.
Who, when he spoke, he had a really bad stutter, but when he sang beautifully.
But why is it like that? Can you explain that?
It's simply is we know the brain has 2 hemispheres.
Yeah.
The left hemisphere has the language center, music and art and math sitting on the other side of the second hemisphere. So when you ask someone to speak directly, they use the left side, which sometimes is damaged. Yeah.
So you're
When you
using-
ask him to sing, the brain has some subcortical links between these two hemispheres, and when you ask the guy to sing, suddenly you are shifting the whole order to the other,
function.
well-functioning
That is
hemisphere.
so cool.
So that's could be the
Yeah,
direct answer to your question. And there are lots of similar things related to medical explanation. So what what I stress on in my talks, and I actually in my workshops I brought doctors on board from neurology who works in neurology, or historians who know about the music therapy, which existed long time ago. It's like Egyptians and all of that. They actually worked on this. So I always make it evidence-based kind of workshop. I just don't talk theory. So I show them why it's functioning. So in order to buy in their belief on that. So and there are a lot of examples around this.
What about various frequencies that the body is attuned to for helping illnesses and stuff like that? Isn't there,
Yes. Yes. Usually I start my workshop with something called the secret of sounds. And one of the secrets that are now under usage is that we are like an instrument, and we actually react to vibrations around us, and that's linked to vibration therapy. So with a special, it's like a string. When you pull it, you see the string moving and gives sound back. So we are the same. We are a music instrument, and we react differently to those different vibrations. Now with cancer cells, they are testing at what vibration the outer, let's call it skin or membrane, the outer skin of that cancer cell, at what vibration, what's the hertz that will affect that skin and make it explode. And now it's under use, they are using it so on germs. So some germs could be killed by sending out or exposing them to the exact vibration. And there is now the vibrations, I think, for 40 hertz for some gem. And it's again, it's related to when they build bridges. There were some bridges that were well built, but they all fallen down because there was wind hitting that bridge, and at some point it created a vibration that got augmented and made the whole bridge fall down. So that effect is proven to be useful also for killing germs and killing viruses.
See,
And that is so cool. When by mistakes you can see a new discovery.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's amazing.
Yeah. So that's why you see on the bridge they are not built in one piece. It's cut in various parts,
So it
doesn't affect-
to prevent an augmented vibration wave, if you could say.
Interesting.
Wow. So, Amanda, your talents, how does the future look?
Yeah, exactly. What kind of
Yeah,
goal do you
you've done a
have?
lot up to now.
You have all these three
I
different
tell you
lives.
there are people in life who are givers, and there are people who are takers. I am a giver. That's how.
Oh, we can see that, absolutely.
I can tell you. I can categorize myself under a giver. So in future, I just want to. I hope I will stay able to keep giving to others. That's my hope, to be honest. Because if that stops at some point, I feel I will be done. So I hope I will be able to keep that, just giving to others. I see the future bright and good, and there is lots of options. And at work, as I told you, I've been recently asked to take care of the Gulf culture and sport programs. Hopefully maybe the MENA region, sometime. So I don't know, but that could be my answer to you. Of course, compositions, I want to continue composing. And I have in January, 25th of January 2020, I have a concert with the Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra performing Franz Liszt concerto. So
Wow.
that would be, it's already online and already advertised.
So we better get our tickets.
Yeah. I'm gonna book one.
Absolutely.
Oh,
No, that's amazing. I lost my train of thought now.
yeah, because someone was drilling.
Yeah, well, yeah, and our intern dropping all her possessions. on
Yes.
Oh yes, with the so you're representing the British Business Council in the MENA region.
It's not the Business Council, it's the British
Oh yes,
Council.
sorry, the British Council.
Yeah.
Sorry. What is the general response from the community to the British Council? Is it very positive, or is there skepticism?
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I mean, the British Council, the good thing about the British Council, as I mentioned from the beginning, we have this mutual understanding that we build with the communities where we work. So we don't really bring something that doesn't talk to the local context. We don't say, oh, this will work good for you. We think that.
Exactly.
Take it.
Take
We don't
on-
do that.
yeah.
We always consult with partners. We build everything in partnership with local contacts, with
that's
local
good.
partners, with the Ministry of Education, with the Qatar National Research Fund, Qatar Fund. These are our partners. And everything is created together with so the result is always, in terms of concept, is always positive because it's been created with them. So I hope that answers your question.
No, absolutely, yeah. Because I was just wondering how, is it, well, we're British and, this is the right way to do things and,
I mentioned to
learn
you,
from us.
It's called Qatar British Festival. We don't call it the British Festival.
No.
Yeah.
So that's crucial in the name.
Absolutely.
And but there is a lot of noise. As you always know, there is a lot of things happening in Qatar. Everybody want to bring something to the country. So there is lots of competition and lots of...
That leads on to my next question. How do you get the message out there? How do you let people know what you guys are up to?
Yeah, I mean...
because the added or the common saying by a lot of people, well, I never knew that this was happening until after the actual event.
Yeah. I mean, that's really, we always suffer from that, to be honest. And there are many reasons for this. And we know that there's a lot of people who come in and out of Qatar.
Absolutely.
People change a lot. We don't know which newsletter we need to sign up to. The billboards culture doesn't work in Qatar because people are driving fast, they won't read. It's just, there are many reasons. But we're trying our best to tap into and support the existing festivals that has audience also, and we add value to those festivals rather than creating something from scratch.
Okay.
And as I said, having the partners on board. For example, we support Ajyal Film Festival, which is a Doha Film Institute festival every year.
I love that one.
And we have a strong component this year. And we had a maze we did 2 years ago with them. So that's one of the ways we do it. And also we go to audience. And that's another strategy. We don't wait for audience to come to us.
No,
so we
smart.
go to their.
And you can be followed on Instagram and Facebook.
That's the usual thing.
Yeah.
But,
Superb. Right, we're coming to the end of the show. Oof. So it's the quickfire question round.
Oh my God.
What's your favourite film?
I got The Godfather.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
Which one of them? The first one or the fifth?
all of them. I went to Sicily back in 2006.
No way.
Yeah. I wasn't very much into Godfather till I went to Sicily. I
So
performed
cool.
there, and it was actually the night of the World Cup game final between Italy and France.
Yeah.
So my concert was cancelled.
No.
And the promoter or the agent, he told me, okay, next day we will have a special concert. And this was the first time I meet Mafia in Sicily. doing their own ceremony, meeting, whatever, and I have to perform to them with other 3 pianists.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your concert. With,
Yeah.
Wow.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
Was it a
just
good
think if you had
audience?
messed
I
up.
didn't know who I'm performing to till I saw those people with white hats and white suits going out from limousines in a villa outside of Palermo in Sicily. So then I understood who I'm performing
Don
to.
Corleone.
So I had that.
So
link.
then, yeah, absolutely.
Then you were,
link.
you know,
Oh,
like,
well,
I love The Godfather. It's so cool.
I don't think I've seen
Oh, you have
all
to.
of them.
I love them.
I think I've only seen the first one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite book?
I'm not a very good book reader because I read a lot of reports every day.
Oh,
so,
fair enough.
so I'm
Audiobooks?
tied.
Podcasts?
Yeah, I'm tied into internet more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we're losing that book culture. Although we are promoting as British Council, you have to read books.
You have
and,
to
you know,
read.
Absolutely.
but that's part of the giver and taker thing.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
you're right.
yeah.
All right, we'll skip that
Yeah,
one.
we
Yeah,
skip
please.
it.
Who do you look up to? Who has influenced you in your life?
I had one in music. I had one conductor who died actually, and it was a really bad experience because I was performing with the orchestra when he got a stroke,
Oh, no.
and he fell on stage, and we had to take him to hospital, which I work at the same time, and he was my idol because he established everything from scratch: the orchestra, the institute, the opera house, everything. And he was a fighter. He wanted to, So he wasn't my idol. But that incident, which now it's tagged to me, made me continue fighting till last minute, because I remember before we go on stage, he was a bit tired and he was sweating, and I told him, "Are you okay?" He said, "No, we'll do it. We'll do it. Let's go." And when he got the stroke and was falling, people were trying to help him, so he was pushing them away. He wanted to continue.
Oh, wow.
So this kind of images.
Stays with you.
Yeah. So just keep fighting
wow.
and don't really give up.
Wow. Superb.
Thank you.
Famous or a quote that sticks with you?
Yes, the famous quote I like is "Nothing about us without us," and that's the quote I start with when I talk about disability. We always talk about disabled people, but we don't involve them in this discussion.
No, you're right.
You know. So through the British Council, for example, we delivered a training around disability etiquette and how you deal with disabled people and that. And the trainer was a visually impaired trainer. This is how it should be done. It's not about, let's talk about them.
Yeah.
So that's a quote I like.
I like it.
Very nice.
And I have a question.
Okay.
So, what makes your heart sing, and what are you grateful for? What do you feel happy for?
Yeah, this is very poetic question.
It is. That's my answer.
Yeah. In general, I like success. It gives me kind of, even if I'm tired because of work, but I like success. I like when people feel the value of what I'm doing and what my team is doing and all of that. So that kind of appreciation of, I like that. And also friendship and friends and all of that. When I travel a lot because of my work, nature of work, and wherever I go, I try to make sure I meet people I met sometimes like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, because I want to hear about their stories. I know Facebook and Instagram is all, but all these stories don't come with emotions at all. They come like, really flat. So that's something also I'm very much attached to places. And actually this year British Festival theme is people and places.
Nice.
So the whole thing is around that.
I love it. Oh, thank you so
Thank you, Waseem.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very
been
much.
inspiring.
So
It's been a great
inspiring.
conversation.
I
Absolutely.
feel. I said before, like it feels in the end of the week, your head is like a bit of a soda. It's like
You did.
bubbling. But now I feel calm and like
Ready
Ready to play the
for
piano.
the weekend.
I'm ready to play the piano.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. And don't forget our other podcasts, Doha Heat, In the Game, and our food review.
Yes, food review.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.
Take care of you.